In the little town of Nashville, Indiana, tourists flock to shop, to see the leaves, and now there's something new drawing them to the center of town, a giant sculpture called Soaring.
Once they're drawn in, and then they love and they appreciate the art, and then they read the plaque, it's a twofold. They have gratitude for the art piece, they're inspired, they think it's beautiful, and then they find out it was made by veterans for the community, for them. I think that will leave a lasting impression.
Magnus Johnson is one of the people behind the sculpture, a former Green Beret who did 3 active duty tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. But coming home was a different sort of challenge.
Magnus he's unique, but when you hear his story over there, oh, I don't know if I could come back normal. He had he's done several tours, and he's seen the worst of it all.
Some of my friends started committing suicide, and I wanted to do something. I wanted to not let that just kind of slip into nothing.
22 veterans commit suicide every day, thus the 22 leaves. To raise awareness for this and other veterans' issues, Magnus founded Elderheart.
We want to raise awareness about 22 veteran suicides a day in America. And we wanted to raise awareness in a way that would be lasting, that would have social impact, that could cross kind of different media gaps. And one of those mechanisms was public art.
When you realize what you're doing, it's not just an art piece, it's a monument or a testament to a human issue that needs to be resolved somehow.
Jim Connor is a sculptor, the engineer and designer of Soaring.
The idea was to build this iconic kind of a sculpture right here with leaves, and so I built a prototype model, and Magnus and I took it into the town, and they approved it, and we went back and forth, and so then it was up to me to try to figure out how to take 13,000 pounds of steel and turn it into something that looks like a living art piece.
The sculpture itself is built by veterans and community volunteers. Working side by side, vets share their stories, and those at home are afforded a deeper appreciation.
This is my hometown. I'm going to see it every day, and it's just an amazing thing to be a part of. It's very uplifting.
People being involved with people is more therapeutic than anything, I think.
Lots of people go and they'll just be like, oh, well, thank you for your service, and then it stops there. And talking and thanking is always important. But I felt like, I didn't just want to stop there. I wanted to actually have, my actions be backing up really what was coming out of my mouth, and really being able to make sure that they really saw that there was a passion and importance placed on them.
If 22 members of any community are killing themselves a day, it's a big deal. I think one of the biggest things that could reduce that number is genuine appreciation and genuine gratitude. And warriors telling their stories and people really embracing that.
And I think the whole art experience is also very healing for these guys to work on things, because it starts dialogue among them, that I've been privileged to hear.
It's good to have parades and honorary events and such, but we would like the longevity of large standing installations. What you hear, touch, taste, smell, read, look at, that's your culture. And we only want to defend our culture, but we also want to create our culture. And I think using that model is a way to break some of the stigmas associated with post-traumatic stress syndrome and traumatic brain injury and other issues.
There's been tons of war memorials built, and this is not a memorial. This is a way to pull people in with art, but then to really throw something completely different at them. Oh, I didn't realize that. Conversation starts.
Yeah, the plaque thanks the town. It thanks the people that live in the town. It thanks Jim Connor, Larry Webb, professional artist. And it thanks the American warrior, but it tells the truth, it tells the facts. 22 veterans a day in America commit suicide, and people need to know.
It's not just warriors that suffer from post-traumatic stress. It's the woman who lost a son. It's the parents that have a son returning who don't understand why he's locked up in a room drinking alcohol every night. It's the whole society suffers.
Beauty and tragedy at the same time. We hope that makes it digestible.
Soaring is lifting spirits here, and Elderheart hopes to open the eyes and hearts of communities everywhere.
Art is a mechanism to get involved in your community, to make something that's going to last a long time, that's going to shape the culture of a place you live in, that defines what's important. So anybody who puts their hands on it or touches it or adds to it is a part of that legacy.
For other profiles and resources for veterans, visit WFYI.veteranscominghome.org.